Hello and welcome everyone, I'm C.S.Gilmore and this is a true review video where we discuss and share where I share my views on a game I've played on my channel and what I thought about it. Minus the gameplay at the same time, and so a bit more of a just focusing on the review itself rather than playing and everything else. Today we're going to talk about Oregon Trail. Not Oregon Trail, Oregon Trail. Kind of a zombie apocalypse survival Oregon Trail related type of game. This game was different. It kind of has the old pixel style of Oregon Trail, it being an older game, and yet I don't know. This game, there were aspects of it I liked, and there were aspects that I didn't. Things I liked about it, I like zombies. Generally, the concept of how that would work and all that. The whole surviving through a zombie apocalypse and getting to a safe place and or fighting off the zombie hordes and all that. It's a little interesting. I like it. The concept of the game has a lot of potential, and I think there was a lot of this game that I didn't get, like that I didn't reach. I don't know if there's DLC or something. I have to look around a bit more whether there's more to it, because I've seen pictures out there that suggested there was a lot more content than I found, and I don't know if it came with the DLC or whether it was just I somehow missed stuff, or whether you have to grind through several playthroughs to get some of it. But what I found, it was enjoyable for the bit, start and ending mostly. In between, though, I had a lot of trouble. There was a lot of grinding, a lot of grinding. Just going through, just getting through the game. And doing a lot of the same things over and over again. The same couple missions, the same general trials as you travel across the United States from one coast to the other. And I think that's this game's biggest downfall was, at least for me, from what I found, it felt like it was missing a lot of content. There was a lot of repetitiveness. It needed more. And I think there's more out there, I don't know where to look for it. And I think with this game, yeah, that if it had moved along with new things more often, it would have been better. At least for me, it would have held my attention better. As it was for my current playthrough videos, you can watch that, see how I did. It didn't feel like it went anywhere. It was just a lot of doing the same thing over and over again, rinse, repeat, until you got to the end. Then the end changed things up a bit with its Oregon Trail ish style, like that its own unique twist on the whole Left 4 Dead, getting all the generators running to get to safety kind of thing going on. And that was interesting. That was different, and I liked that. And then the startup was very similar to Oregon Trail, pick who you are, basic startup stuff. But at the same time, I feel like Oregon Trail had more content to it. Oregon Trail had a lot of grinding too. Just travel. In fact, I think this game may have had one of its advantages over the standard Oregon Trail may have been, I think it was shorter. A bit shorter. Maybe it's just me, but I think it was shorter. And so even though it was grindy, you only had to put up with it for so long. You could actually see you were making progress. And so that brings it up a bit. The art style, very reminiscent of the old Oregon Trail, the pixelation, high pixelation, and everything like that. And it was a very simple game. I think it was. I think it may have been a game that originally started off as something else, like not for PC, like maybe a phone app or something. And that may be where more of the content is. I don't know. If that is the case, I'd have to look around. But I like the game okay. It's not a favorite. It's not a game I'm likely to go back to. And I don't like giving more negative reviews, but then I like giving positive reviews more often than not. But with this one, I have to rate it a bit lower than I would normally. Probably going off of how I felt about it, playing through, honestly, 4 out of 10. I know it's really low, um, especially for me. It was too much of the same thing. More content, more new missions, new twists on things. It would make the game more interesting, give more story to the game. I think that's one of the things that I missed a lot. It felt like you're just in the world, but there was no story to it. Uh, Games like Limbo, they didn't tell you a lot, but you were in a story. This, it just felt like you were traveling. Your goal was get from point A to point B, and that was it. There wasn't much point to it. Like you knew you were trying to get to safety and all that, but there wasn't, because of all the repetitiveness. It wasn't an adventure for anything. It didn't feel like a journey, as it was just a slog to complete every point possible to have the necessary resources to get there and do it. And then you're done. That's it, the end. Maybe for some people this game would be more interesting. It just may not have been my type of game. I admit that some games just aren't for everyone, and maybe this was one of those games that wasn't for me. But check it out if you feel like it. If it's the sort of thing if you like zombies and the pixel styles and all that, and a bit of grinding or digging around until you get out of the grind, maybe there was more content there that I missed, or maybe there's a way to get more content, like DLCs or something like that that I'm not aware of. But do what you think is best with that one. I just I I can't give it a high recommendation. It just wasn't my game. But it has good aspects to it. It has a lot of potential, and some people may like it. Um, Art style wise, I don't know if it. Just thinking of art style real quick before I wrap things up. I'm not sure if the pixelation really worked for it. I mean, it made some of the stuff feel a little more clunky rather than really all that great. With Oregon Trail, they had those scenes where you would hunt for food and there would be animals running around. With this, there wasn't any of that. It had that like running around grabbing supplies thing while shooting zombies in different directions, and it played on the world setup, not really story, but world setup. But I don't know, it didn't. I think they had the pixelation primarily out of ease, but also to connect with the original Oregon Trail, and I feel like that didn't work for this game. It was one of the things that fell short. It would have they 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 were they didn't have enough contrast or similarity. Like they were in that middle point where they either needed to be much more different and do their own thing completely, or they needed to do things a lot more like the original Oregon Trail. I think that may be where part of my problem with is, but maybe that I don't know. I have to think about that one a bit more probably because that's a concept I'm just kind of thinking about right now that came to me. But this video is getting a bit long, and I'm rambling on now about it, so I'm gonna end this video here and leave a comment below. Let me know what you thought about this game. Whether you found more content, whether you found it more interesting, less interesting, liked it, disliked it, what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it, all that good stuff. Leave a comment below. Let's have some nice discussion about this game. Maybe we can find some things that could help others to enjoy this more than I did. And otherwise, you know, I'm definitely gonna do some more of these videos. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.